at the size of that bass.
Live coverage of the Whataburger Bassmaster Elite at Pickwick Lake is sponsored by TH Marine.
It is go time here for the 6th stop of the 2022 Bassmaster Elite Series season, and that takes us back to the Tennessee River, Pickwick Lake out of Counce, Tennessee. Such, it's going to be a good old-fashioned Tennessee River ledge event, something we haven't had in quite a long time here on the Bassmaster Elite Series. But it's summertime, and the fish believe, hey, it's time to head offshore, Such, and we're going to see a lot of anglers fishing deep this week, and we're happy to be back on the Tennessee River and excited to be at a brand new host location for an Elite Series event, and that is Counce, Tennessee, the opposite dam at Pickwick Lake.
Yeah, we're about 50 miles down river there, Ronnie, here at Counce, Tennessee, Pickwick Lake. The Pickwick Landing State Park down there. We're going to take off, have all the activities. A nice expo on Saturday and Sunday. Bill Dance is going to be there. We're gonna have a lot of fishing in between now and then.
It's a big old bass party here for the Whataburger Bassmaster Elite at Pickwick Lake. And if you're just joining us on the Facebook Live pre-show brought to you by Starbright, we appreciate you tuning in. It is the 6th stop of the Bassmaster Elite Series season, and everyone's getting ready to take off. Normally we start Facebook Live and there's a little bit of fishing action, but today we are starting Bassmaster Live right around the time that they are taking off from the Pickwick Landing State
He's got
Park.
an interesting thing. His wife is due. The due date has passed. He could leave this event at any time.
Stay in there, baby Polinick.
Our Angler of the Year leader.
He said it at Lake Fork. He wanted to get as many points leading up to this event, knowing that he could possibly leave at any moment to go and be with Tiffany. We're very happy for the Polinicks and their progression, and we're excited that he is obviously our Progressive Angler of the Year leader. Halfway through the season, we kind of start to see these things filter out, which we see that classic cut line get a little more solidified. We see some of the contenders in that AOY race. The ones who maybe had an early hot streak have fallen out, but guys like John Cox, who have lived shallow all year, are still hanging tough. Second place, but John Cox posted, great, I'm in second to one of the best ledge fishermen in the world, heading to a ledge fishing lake for Lake Pickwick this week.
Yeah, it's getting tighter now, Ronnie. Just 6 events in, it's going to be a little harder to make moves. Pollock made a nice move. He gained 40 points on Cox last week. We had a couple guys. Lee Livesey, the winner, jumped into the classic bubble. He's actually in right now. When I started looking at the double qualifiers, Ronnie, Shane LaHue, the same thing, right inside our cut. So, and it's pretty tight right there at that bubble to get into the classic, and that's a big deal.
We mentioned it, Brandon Polinick, the Progressive Angler of the Year leader, and right there pictured Joseph Webster. He's not far from being a local here at Pickwick. He's one to watch that we'll see on camera. Same with Brock Mosley. And for Webster, he cut the Falcon Rods Rookie of the Year race in half last week against Jay Shakir. He's sitting in second place. Brock Mosley, second place last year in this event. Mississippi native, but grew up fishing Pickwick, and this is basically his biggest lake that he had tournament action on early as a kid.
He needs another good event here. He was second last year, one of his 4 second places in leads, to get back in the bubble for the classic.
Yeah,
made a little bit of move.
We'll also be riding with Bill Lowen, our defending champion from last year, and we'll also have some other locals like Justin Atkins who need to catch them this week. We will totally get into all of that action and the situations that we're breaking down this week. But if you're just joining us on the Starbright Facebook Live show, we appreciate you tuning in. Like we mentioned, it's the 6th stop of the Bassmaster Elite Series
when you
season.
say ledge event, Ronnie, totally ledge event. There'd be some fish caught shallow, but most of the guys are saying it's going to be a ledge. The schools of fish are down deeper.
When you look at this map right here, Such, that far right side, that's where the tail race is and the dam from Wilson Lake. That is where we'll notoriously see some of those smallmouth in the spring. We'll also see a lot of shallow fish around that 7 Mile Island region. Then you get to the middle portion, and that's the first real portion of ledges that start, and that's kind of the bars that lead into the main creek channel or the main river channel on Pickwick. And then the closer you get to Counce, Tennessee, those are really ledge capital of the world. That is places that a lot of these schools of fish that were on the banks just a month or two ago have flooded off to be where the river current's going to run by. That is the driving factor on the Tennessee River. The river current, it positions the bait fish, it positions the schools of bass, and that's where they sit for the rest of the summer. They get all that good oxygen and the water temperature from that river channel. They don't deal with the hot, sweltering conditions. So that's what we're dealing with, some deep offshore fishing. Guys maybe who have schools of 5 fish that are giants, some guys that maybe have schools of 35 fish that are maybe middle size, but a lot of these fish will group up by size.
And they're going to have these guys are going to have to share some of these spots as well, Ronnie. What tactics, techniques? You know, we got the big crankbaits, we got some big worms going, some jigs. What else is going to play?
We're going to see, it's going to be Lake Fork 2.0. You're not going to see the standing timber, but you're going to see a lot of those big worms, the crankbaits as well, some spoons, some big swim baits. There's going to be a lot of power fishing going on. And then we'll see those guys who attack those pressured offshore schools, maybe community holes. Places that are notorious on Pickwick that get a lot of pressure, we'll see them attack them with those finesse tactics like Nico rigs and drop shots and shaky heads, things like that.
And you just saw a shot of Bill Lowen, our winner last year, the big 8-pound, 5-ounce fish to win it in the final day. He's only picked 6% or 7% of the anglers in our fantasy fishing. It's kind of weird that the guy who won the previous year is so low.
It's a lot of disbursement here in fantasy fishing this week, but it's also Such because he won in flooded conditions in April. Totally different. And I will say, for it being a summertime event, there's probably no better takeoff to be at than in Counce, Tennessee. You have access to some of the best offshore places on the lake within 5 minutes of the boat ramp, and you can still make that 45-minute run back towards the shallow fish and the mid-lake portion if you want to. You can even run all the way back to the Wilson Dam and the tail race there.
Where's it going to be won, Ronnie? Where are we going to win this sucker at?
I think we're going to see mid-lake towards takeoff.
Okay.
From mid-lake, the Natchez Trace Bridge towards takeoff, we will see a winner come from there. We will get to see live fishing in less than 10 minutes at 8 a.m. Eastern Time on Bassmaster.com. We'll have Tommy Sanders, Mark Zona, Such, and myself, the full crew, and we will join you for the Whataburger Bassmaster Elite. We will see you live on Bassmaster.com in just a few minutes.